The question of whether God exists has intrigued humanity for millennia. It has sparked debates, inspired philosophical inquiries, and given rise to diverse religious beliefs and practices. The concept of God is not only a religious or spiritual matter but also an intellectual pursuit that intersects with philosophy, science, and culture. This narrative delves into various perspectives on the existence of God, examining arguments for and against, and exploring how this profound question has shaped human thought. Defining God, a multifaceted concept. Before delving into the arguments for and against the existence of God, it's essential to define what we mean by God. The concept varies widely across cultures and religious traditions, making it a complex and multifaceted notion. Theistic definitions. 1. Monotheistic traditions in religions like Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, God is often conceived as a single, omnipotent, omniscient, and benevolent being who created and governs the universe. This God is personal, engaged with humanity, and often has specific attributes and commandments. 2. Polytheistic traditions in Hinduism, ancient Greek religion, and other polytheistic faiths, gods are seen as multiple deities with specific roles, personalities, and powers. These gods often embody natural forces, human emotions, or abstract principles. 3. Pantheism and pantheism. Some philosophical and spiritual traditions, such as certain interpretations of Hinduism and Taoism, conceive God as synonymous with the universe, pantheism, or as a being that permeates the universe while transcending it, pantheism. 4. Deism. Deism posits that God is a distant creator who set the universe in motion and then withdrew, allowing it to operate according to natural laws without divine intervention. Atheistic and agnostic perspectives. 1. Atheism. Atheists reject belief in any gods, often citing a lack of empirical evidence and the ability of science to explain natural phenomena without invoking supernatural entities. 2. Agnosticism. Agnostics maintain that the existence of God is unknown or unknowable, asserting that human reason and evidence are insufficient to make a definitive judgment. Arguments for the existence of God. Philosophers, theologians, and believers have developed numerous arguments in favor of God's existence. While some rely on logical reasoning, others draw on personal experience or revelation. 1. The cosmological argument. The cosmological argument posits that everything that exists has a cause, and since the universe exists, it must have a cause outside itself, namely, God. This argument is often associated with St. Thomas Aquinas and is presented in various forms. The argument from contingency. This version asserts that everything contingent, dependent on something else, must ultimately trace back to a necessary being that is self-existent, often identified as God. The Kalam cosmological argument. This version focuses on the universe's beginning, arguing that anything that begins to exist must have a cause, leading to the conclusion that God is the first cause. 2. The teleological argument. The teleological argument, or the argument from design, observes order, purpose, and complexity in the universe and infers the existence of an intelligent designer. Fine-tuning argument. This argument highlights the precise conditions necessary for life to exist and suggests that such fine-tuning is best explained by a divine designer. Biological complexity. Some proponents point to the complexity of biological organisms, arguing that natural processes alone cannot account for intricate structures like the human eye or DNA. 3. The moral argument. The moral argument asserts that objective moral values and duties exist and are best explained by the existence of a moral lawgiver, God. Moral objectivity. Proponents argue that moral values are not merely subjective or culturally relative but have an objective basis that transcends human opinions. Human conscience. The universal human experience of conscience and moral obligation is cited as evidence of a divine moral order. 4. The ontological argument. The ontological argument, formulated by St. Anselm, is a more abstract reasoning that begins with the concept of God as the greatest conceivable being. Logical necessity. The argument posits that if God can be conceived as the greatest being, then God must exist in reality, as existence is a necessary attribute of the greatest conceivable being. 5. Personal experience and revelation. Many believers cite personal experiences, religious texts, and revelations as evidence for God's existence. Religious experiences, accounts of transformative spiritual experiences, miracles, and answered prayers are often considered evidence of divine presence. Scriptural authority. Holy texts such as the Bible, Quran, and Bhagavad Gita are seen as divinely inspired and authoritative, offering insights into God's nature and will. Arguments against the existence of God. Critics and skeptics have raised numerous objections to theistic arguments, often challenging their logical coherence, empirical basis, or moral implications. 1. The problem of evil. The problem of evil is one of the most significant challenges to theistic belief, questioning how an omnipotent, omniscient, and benevolent God can coexist with the existence of evil and suffering. Logical problem: some argue that the existence of evil is logically incompatible with a benevolent God, while others see it as evidence of God's non-existence. Evidential problem: the sheer scale and intensity of suffering in the world are cited as evidence against a good and powerful God. 2. The argument from science. Many atheists and skeptics argue that scientific explanations for natural phenomena diminish the need for a divine creator. Evolutionary theory: the theory of evolution by natural selection provides a naturalistic explanation for the diversity of life, challenging arguments from design. Cosmological models: modern cosmology, including the Big Bang theory and multiverse hypotheses, offers explanations for the universe's origin without invoking a deity. 3. The argument from incoherence. Some philosophers argue that the concept of God is incoherent or self-contradictory. Omnipotence paradox: questions about the nature of omnipotence, such as whether God can create a stone so heavy that even he cannot lift it, challenge the coherence of divine attributes. Divine hiddenness: the perceived absence or hiddenness of God, despite widespread belief, is seen as a challenge to theism. 4. The argument from naturalism. Naturalism posits that natural laws and processes account for everything in the universe, negating the need for supernatural explanations. Occam's razor: the principle of Occam's razor suggests that simpler explanations, without unnecessary entities like God, are preferable. Mind and consciousness: naturalistic explanations for consciousness and human experience are seen as more parsimonious than invoking a divine mind. Reconciling belief and reason. While the debate between theism and atheism often seems polarized, some thinkers and traditions seek to reconcile belief in God with scientific and philosophical reasoning. 1. The compatibility of science and faith. Many religious believers see science and faith as complementary rather than contradictory. Integration models: figures like Teilhard de Chardin and John Polkinghorne propose models where scientific discovery and theological insight enrich one another. Limits of science: some argue that science addresses how questions, while religion addresses why questions, each providing distinct but valuable insights. 2. The role of faith. Faith is often seen as a personal commitment that transcends empirical evidence or logical proof. Fideism: this view holds that faith is independent of reason and that religious belief may rest on spiritual experiences or revelations rather than logical arguments. Existential choice: thinkers like Søren Kierkegaard emphasize the personal, subjective dimension of faith as a choice or commitment that defines one's existence. 3. Mysticism and experience. Mystical traditions across religions emphasize direct, experiential knowledge of the divine. Transcendent experience: mystics describe encounters with a reality that transcends ordinary perception, often interpreted as union with God. Universal patterns: similarities in mystical experiences across cultures are seen as evidence of a shared, underlying spiritual reality. The cultural and social impact of belief in God. Belief in God has profound cultural, ethical, and social implications, shaping civilizations, moral systems, and individual lives. 1. Religious traditions and moral values. Religions provide frameworks for moral values, community cohesion, and personal meaning. Moral guidance: religious teachings offer ethical principles that guide personal and communal behavior, such as the Ten Commandments or the Four Noble Truths. Cultural identity: belief in God often underpins cultural traditions, rituals, and identities, fostering a sense of belonging and continuity. 2. Social and political influence. Religion has historically played a significant role in shaping political structures and social movements. Justice and reform: faith-based initiatives and movements, such as the civil rights movement, often draw on religious principles to advocate for social justice and reform. Conflict and division: religious differences can also lead to conflict, intolerance, and division, highlighting the complex interplay between belief and power. 3. Personal and existential meaning. Belief in God offers existential meaning and hope to individuals facing life's challenges. Hope and comfort: faith provides comfort in times of suffering, offering hope for an afterlife or divine justice. Purpose and fulfillment: for many, belief in God imparts a sense of purpose and direction, shaping life choices and aspirations. The question of God's existence remains one of the most profound and enduring inquiries in human thought. It invites exploration of the boundaries of reason, the depths of personal experience, and the richness of cultural traditions. This debate is not just a theoretical exercise, it shapes how individuals understand themselves, their purpose, and their place in the universe. The continuum of belief. Belief in God exists on a continuum, from unwavering faith to skeptical inquiry. Some find solace and certainty in religious doctrine, while others seek understanding through science and reason. This spectrum of belief highlights the diversity of human experience and the many ways people seek to understand the world. Firm believers. For many, belief in God is a foundational aspect of life, providing moral guidance, community, and a sense of belonging. These individuals often engage deeply with religious texts, rituals, and community practices. Skeptics and atheists. Skeptics question the existence of God due to a lack of empirical evidence or perceived inconsistencies in religious claims. Atheists may reject belief in God altogether, often emphasizing human reason and scientific understanding. Agnostics and seekers. Many people occupy a middle ground, open to exploring spiritual ideas but unsure of definitive answers. Agnostics acknowledge the limitations of human understanding, while seekers actively explore various religious and philosophical perspectives. The role of dialogue. The question of God's existence encourages dialogue and reflection across cultural, philosophical, and scientific boundaries. Engaging with different viewpoints can foster empathy, critical thinking, and a broader understanding of the human experience. Interfaith conversations. Dialogues between different religious traditions can uncover shared values, ethical principles, and common goals, fostering cooperation and understanding. Science and religion. Conversations between science and religion can explore the complementary nature of these domains, recognizing that both contribute to human knowledge and experience. Philosophical inquiry. Philosophy provides a platform for examining the logical coherence and implications of various beliefs, encouraging a deeper exploration of fundamental questions. Personal reflection. Ultimately, the question of God's existence invites personal reflection and introspection. Each individual's journey is unique, shaped by personal experiences, cultural background, and intellectual curiosity. Spiritual exploration. Engaging with spiritual practices, meditation, or contemplation can offer insights into one's beliefs and values, fostering a deeper connection to the divine or the universe. Rational inquiry. Investigating philosophical arguments and scientific discoveries can enhance one's understanding of the world, encouraging a critical evaluation of beliefs. Existential considerations. Reflecting on life's purpose, meaning, and morality can guide personal growth, shaping one's worldview and actions. The endless journey. The question of whether God exists is unlikely to be resolved definitively, as it touches on deeply personal and complex aspects of human existence. However, this uncertainty is not a barrier but an invitation to explore the vast landscape of human thought, imagination, and experience. As individuals and societies continue to grapple with this question, the pursuit of understanding can lead to profound insights and connections. Whether through faith, reason, or a combination of both, the exploration of God's existence remains an essential part of the human journey, offering endless opportunities for discovery and reflection. In conclusion, the existence of God is a question that transcends time, culture, and discipline. It invites us to examine the deepest aspects of our humanity, encouraging us to seek truth, meaning, and connection in a complex and ever-changing world. Whether one finds answers in the certainty of faith, the clarity of reason, or the beauty of mystery, the journey itself is a testament to the enduring human spirit.